Meisner at the Microphone by Brock Powell. On more than one occasion, I've been asked, "Hey Brock, when are you going to get back into real acting, like theater?" After I manage to stifle a groan and a grimace, I typically gently reply, "Voiceover acting is everything I loved about theater acting without all the things I didn't like." Think about it. No rehearsals, no tights, no 6-week runs, and no drama. What's not to love about VO? However, despite your medium, your primary job as an actor never changes. Communicate the writer's intent, and to bring the copy and characters to life. There are many schools of thought on how best an actor can achieve this, and one that I've studied in my time as a stage actor and theater student was Sanford Meisner. Sanford Meisner was a legendary acting teacher and a founding member of the group theater. Throughout this article, I hope to help show you the basics of the Meisner technique and how it might be helpful behind the mic. So although I have peppered just a few of his quotes throughout the blog, I cannot stress that they simply don't do justice to what a vibrant, playful, and downright genius artist this man was. Essentially, and apologies in advance to my theater professor, especially Tony Vesner, to sum up the thoughts of Sanford Meisner and his technique was his focus on the reality of doing. To oversimplify, if you're supposed to be smiling, you smile. Are you supposed to walk away in the scene? Well, you get up and walk away. Despite your intention, you lead with the truth in your acting by committing to the real action. So how does this apply to voiceover? Well, say you have a fast food commercial to audition for. Although you aren't actually in a car driving to the nearest Jack-in-the-Box, do you remember the last time you had a fast food craving or what it was like when you ate your favorite snack? Well, of course you do. So once we set the scene, driving to get food, we pinpoint the action, getting food and talking to a friend. So are you in a car talking to someone? Great, who is it? Chances are, unless it's an inner thought spot, you're talking to someone. So if you don't have a scene partner specified in the script, invent someone to play that part and to be on the receiving end of your speaking. Once we have our setting and our scene partner, how do you play the reality of talking to someone? You start your read by actually talking to them. Simple as that. This can be achieved by using a lead-in line or even just repeating the name of the person you're speaking with. Acting is behaving truthfully under imaginary circumstances. Sanford Meisner. So how do we apply this search for the reality of doing and truth to other forms of voiceover? I tend to work in the very unreal world of cartoons. Just this week I read for a talking hamburger and a cranky otter. Where is the truth in that? First of all, reading the script will unveil all of this mystery. But let's use a hypothetical. Say I'm asked to voice an evil piece of French toast that wants to rule the world. How do we do this truthfully? Stop. Before you run for your beret and attempt to roll around in maple syrup, let's investigate what the character is doing. Once you decide what the action is, it doesn't matter how nonsensical the character is. The question becomes, how can I play that action truthfully? Is the French toast laughing at his maniacal plans to conquer the non-French-speaking territories of Canada? Mon Dieu, ho ho ho. Then I laugh, and really try to laugh. Not just to force the sound out. Either I try to laugh, and sometimes I end up laughing at the absurdity of trying to laugh. Find in yourself those human things which are universal. Sanford Meisner. So there it is. The evil French toast has its own wants, desires, and perhaps a tragic backstory involving his delinquent father Pierre, an absent-minded sous chef from Quebec. Often, despite the broad and wackier parts of the story, try and ground your performance in the simpler actions. The more specific you are with your action, the more truthful it is. When in doubt, imagine that the speaker or character just wants to be heard. Then consider, what are some things you do when you want to be heard? It's as simple as that. You might speak slowly and clearly, or you might speak loud and fast. I grew up with a very talkative family, and as a result, I tend to speak loud and fast. And if I wanted to be heard, I would raise my volume. Now maybe this tactic or action won't fit the copy or character, and at that point, that's where a good director is invaluable. But start down the path of doing what is true, rather than doing what is right, and you'll often come closer to some freeing and fun acting experiences. Acting is fun. Don't let that get around. Sanford Meisner.